Hey everyone, it's Peter. Welcome back to the review. Today we are reviewing Entourage. And to be honest, this is my second time filming this review, and it's because I felt I was too harsh in my initial recording. And in my initial recording, the movie was not fresh in my mind, but I just watched the movie a second time before recording this, and I have to say, it didn't change my mind too much, but I'm a bit more fond of the movie than I previously was. So it's not going to be as rough as my initial recording. But here we go. I might be mentioning my initial recording of this review throughout this review, so if you want to watch that review, go check out my Patreon. It's free, and just keep in mind, in that review, the movie was not fresh in my mind. I watched it like a month before the recording. But when watching this again, I actually had a good time. Although, like my first watch of this movie, the jokes didn't really land with me. It's not my type of comedy. I'm not a fan of the humor relying on all these sex things. I mean, E's character, he's just morally not very good. Johnny Drama, he does bad, weird things, but he is weirdly sympathetic. I might as well talk about all the characters. Vincent, he was just basic. He was the least interesting character in this whole movie, and he's the main character. That's not very good. Ari might be my favorite. He was gold, pun intended. He was the funniest character. I really liked his energy. He was no BS. He had a good anger management thing going through this movie. I think actually the most morally sound character in this movie, if you can call any of these people morally sound, would be Turtle. And he had my favorite side plot with Ronda Rousey. I guess I'm a fan of Ronda Rousey, I guess, because she was in the WWE. But yeah, I enjoyed that side plot. So I can definitely see how after like 8 seasons of the show, people watching all 8 seasons can come to love these characters and the camaraderie that they have between each other. But that affection towards this group of people doesn't make this movie good or great. I mean, the movie is fine itself, but I do have problems with it. And that's why my score after my initial watching did not change so much after my second watching. Because this is the most objective movie grading and ranking system of all time. And sure, a second glance might tweak the grade, but objectivity never fades. Even when the numbers shift, the truth stays put. Entourage is just a fine, average movie. I stand by that. That's where I put down my foot. So, let's see what the numbers have to say about this film. That rhymed. Boom. The narrative analysis gets a 4.9 out of 10. I actually am interested in the main plot of this film, where they need to get more funding for their movie. I've always just had an interest in the behind the scenes of Hollywood making the movies. And I enjoyed the lengths that Ari went to get this stuff done. He flew a helicopter, landed it on the golf field, and then ran into this meeting and just said some stuff. And I think that was part of the climax. This movie had 5 different climaxes for everybody's arcs, which is a negative. Instead of all their side plots and arcs ending separately, they should have kind of converged into one and had more of an influence on each other throughout the movie. Because the birth at the end, where it brought them all together, it didn't feel very climactic as it should have. The birth could have felt more emotionally engaging if all the other characters were more involved in her storyline, and that would make them more emotionally invested in that birth. I do get it that it's like, oh, this group, they're like brothers to each other. If one of them has a kid, they feel like they just had a kid. But that wasn't built up enough in this movie to have that really hit hard enough. It was a nice moment where Johnny dropped all of his worries to go experience this baby being born, but it doesn't explain how he got out of that mess, because at the end of the movie, all the controversy is cleared because he's a great actor. Spoilers. And let's talk about the ending. I like happy endings, so I like that. That's a plus. The formal analysis gets a 5.3 out of 10. Cinematography, sound design, those things were basic. They were serviceable. Still, even after a second watch, the pacing did feel a little weird, just because we do have 5 characters and we're going through a bunch of their side plots. They did kind of do it well as they could, but each of those side plots didn't have enough time for them to develop, for them to come to a much meaningful end. In the editing, I did like that opening montage of like going through Hollywood and all the signs. It was the opening credits. And this did take place in Hollywood, so it was a cameo fest, and I did enjoy that part of the movie. Pharrell Williams, that was a funny thing. Mark Wahlberg was good. My favorite was probably Liam Neeson's cameo. The contextual analysis gets a 4.2 out of 10. This is a comedy and I didn't laugh a lot in this movie. The comedy's just not for me, not my style. Maybe if you're more of a fan of the show, you'll find it funnier. But like I said, they rely on a lot of sex things to make this funny. The drama aspect, it was there. It was serviceable, but it only kicked up about halfway through the movie, and that's when I got engaged. The movie takes place in Hollywood, and sure, it shows that there are struggles in getting the movies you want made in Hollywood, but it doesn't really challenge Hollywood in any meaningful way, which I would want a movie like this to do. Time for the bonuses. There are no bonuses. Time for the call bonus. I'll call a random person on my phone and ask if they've heard of the movie. If they have, it gets a plus 1%. Have you heard of the movie Entourage?
Yes.
What? You've heard of this movie?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Entourage. Try to see what it looks like.
It's about like these 5 guys making a movie.
Oh, I don't think so. I haven't seen a lot of movies. I did see the Minecraft movie though.
So you've heard of the movie Entourage, or?
Yes. Probably from you or Miles, honestly.
Not from me. I've never.
Wait, is it new?
No, it's a 2015 film.
Honestly, it sounds familiar.
But have you looked it up?
I just tried to. I don't know how to spell it.
Entourage. Aren't you graduating?
Okay, I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
Okay. So after all that, my score is 49.1%, but we have to factor in external opinion. The audience at Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 57%. The critics at Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 33%, and IMDb gave it a 65%. And now it's time to calculate the final score. Do not give me a drum roll. This is going to be disappointing to you Entourage fans, but this will not beat Shawshank Redemption. It's not even going to beat The Lady and the Tramp, which is in dead last on the list. The movie gets a 49.69846667%. Now ranking number 12 on last as the 12th best movie of all time out of the movies on this list. About 10% below The Lady and the Tramp. Based on the movie, I don't think I'd be a fan of the show just based on the humor. So if you have not watched the show, I would not recommend watching this movie, but if you have watched the show, definitely watch this movie. You'll have a good time, for sure. If you like the video, smash the thumbs up button. If you didn't like the video, still smash the thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe to our post notifications, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, stay for the skit, and have a great day. Vince, this better be some good news. So, Ari, I think we're gonna need a few more $1 million to finish this movie. What do you mean an extra few million? You guys are over budget and you haven't even shown me the film. All I've heard is that the climax is a bunch of explosions and a shirtless speech. Where could this money possibly be going? You know, those scenes are fine, but we spent so much money on explosions that we forgot to hire a makeup artist. And you know, our co-lead Steve, he had like some food and stuff on his upper lip. What do you mean stuff on his lip? It was probably the Oreos and salsa he ate from catering. Just kind of like crusted up there all around. It looks really bad. So we're gonna need a lot of money to like CGI all that stuff out without making it look like Superman in the opening scene of Justice League. Food? That can't be that bad. Just refilm it or something. Touch it up. Oh, it's in like 8 scenes throughout the movie. It's bad. 8 scenes? Would you film 8 scenes in one day? No, they weren't all filmed in one day. This took place over like 2 months. 2 months? Is the guy not looking in a mirror or a shower? I guess he doesn't shower or something. Maybe he doesn't wipe his mouth ever. You want $2 million so we can have the money? You want a few $1 million to CGI correct Steve's lips that have Oreos and salsa all over them? Yeah, you can have the money. Who cares? I'm gonna go try some Oreos and salsa. I'll be back. Wait a minute. Did you say Oreos and salsa? A fine movie. Time to put down the foot. Did that rhyme? Yeah, it did. Rhymes. Stupid. Give me a chew. Can I get a